All right, intermolecular forces 2. So in this lecture, we want to talk about the heat of fusion, the heat of vaporization, vapor pressure, and phase change diagram. All right. So here we see a phase change, a change of state for say any substance. Okay, let's say it's water. Here we have temperature, and here we have heat. Heat is the energy put in, right? So as you start, basically you're solid, and then when you get to a certain point, so now if this was water, this point right there would be basically 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is change of state for water. Okay, we're going to say this is water. So at 0 degrees Celsius, all the heat you put in, basically from here to here, is called the heat of fusion. And that heat of fusion is the energy needed to change a solid into a liquid. So all the energy in here is used to change that. Once all the solid is a liquid, then all the energy you put in is to raise the temperature of that liquid until you get here. Now at this point for water would be 100 degrees Celsius. So at this point, we're changing from a liquid into a gas. So here, all the energy you put in is to change a liquid into a gas. So it's the delta H of vaporization, how much heat you put in per mole. Then after that, it's going to become a gas, and so on and so forth. Okay? So now let's take a look at heat of fusion. Now in a solid, remember, all the molecules are lined very nice and neat. And so when we add heat to it, what happens is we're breaking these intermolecular bonds, those little red dotted lines. So if we break those from a solid into a liquid, it's called a heat of fusion. Okay, it's the heat absorbed as 1 mole of a solid liquefied. Liquefies means turn into a liquid. So that's the energy needed to basically melt 1 mole of a substance. Now once the intermolecular bonds are weakened, we have a liquid state. So notice in the liquid state, you still have pretty strong intermolecular bonds, but the molecules are now no longer in perfect rows, perfect orders, and things like that. Now, what will happen is if we keep adding heat, then we're going to add so much heat that the vibration is going to basically overcome the intermolecular forces, and then the molecules can separate from each other. That's when we change from a liquid to a gas. And when we do that, we call it the heat of vaporization. So the heat of vaporization is when we heat a substance or 1 mole of a liquid to become a gas. That's the heat of vaporization. And remember, the heat of vaporization is adding heat to break the intermolecular bond, just like the heat of solidification, or in the last thing, is to break the bonds from a solid to a liquid.